Hi there, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. We are dental practice brokers. I was a dentist for 25 years, now doing dental practice brokerage for the last 16 years. So today's topic is, sadly, seller of a dental office asks, how soon and rapidly and immediately can you sell my dental office? I have 90 days to live. This is a true story. I'm just coming out of the office. Woo. Anyway, before we get into that, it's very sunny out, so excuse the sunglasses. Oh, beautiful New Jersey. We now have 10 employees, including 2 CPA accountants, a marketing director, operations director, and development acquisition team. We got a great team. So give us a call at 201-663-0935 or go to the website dentalpracticeguide.com or nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. We'll be happy to help you in any way we can. We're working 363 days a year, taking off Christmas and Easter, so whatever your problems are, we could handle them, and if you want free advice, you feel free to call us. Everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only, and it's not legal advice. So give us a call at 201-663-0935. Now, if you have a very large practice, over $1 million, 4 or 5 operatories, etc., and more, give us a call, because you may be a good candidate for one of the DSOs. They're selling now, and they're still buying practices, even though a few of them had trouble, that's for certain, but they are buying the practices, and it really works out great for you. It is the kind of thing right now that you have to know which DSO to be with. Even though a few of them are having trouble, we know the ones that are. Many of the DSOs will pay our commission, so it works out great. Please give us a call so we can help you with that. Now also, if you have a large practice grossing over $1 million, and once again the DSOs will often pay our commission, large practice grossing over $1 million, and we're representing you, and it sells at successful closing at $1 million or above, we'll reimburse your legal fees. So call us about that. We've done that multiple times. All right. Now, today's topic, I'm just leaving the office now. This doctor's office. This is real life, true story. We don't have time to make things up. There's too much going on. It's always changing. It's always moving. This dental practice sale business. So please listen to these videos. We now have 1,461 or 70. I lost track. I just did like 5 in the last couple of days. Because it's always changing. It's a dynamic, moving organism. It just never changes. It's not static. So we've reached today's a sad day. I mean, this guy. Fortunately, he's oldest. I walk in the office. He's telling me he calls me over the weekend on a Sunday. That's another part of the story. I'll tell you that later. He calls you on Sunday, and I pick up the phone because we work 24/7, 363. And I'm glad he called me. He says, I have to sell my practice very soon. I have some medical concerns, and I want to get on the market immediately. I said, sure, we can help you. He also said, I was about to fire some of my staff. I said, do not do that. I'm glad you called me. Because he actually was going to fire some of the staff on Monday, the next day. I said, do not do that. It's one of the worst things. You want a full complement of staff. That's what buyers are looking for. So don't do that. We'll make a tape on that later. So he starts getting into this over the phone. He says, I really have to sell rapidly. So I don't know what's going on. I just hear he has to sell rapidly. This is on Sunday. It's now Tuesday. He says, let's get together. I said, sure. What's a good day? He said, no, let's go tomorrow, Wednesday. Near me, I'll pop up and see you. Not a problem. Practice grossing over $1 million. He then calls me Monday morning. He says, we better get together sooner rather than later. Can you come today, Monday? And I was tied up. I couldn't go. I said, look, I'll come tomorrow. I have some plans that evening. I have to go down, show 4 people, 1 practice, 4 different buyers. So he says, how soon can you get here? I said, we'll do it, this week. So he gets me in the next 24 hours. I walk in and he says, look, I have an urgent sale. I've got to sell my practice immediately. I asked, what's the sense of urgency? What's going on? So I got pancreatic cancer. I got 90 days. I will be gone in 90 days. It snuck up on me. I had no whole liquid on hold there. Sorry, taking a spam call of all things. He says it just snuck up on me. He says I had no symptoms, hardly any symptoms. That's the problem with pancreatic cancer. It's a secret type of cancer. It sneaks up on you. It's very sad. I'm sitting here in traffic. Some people complain. I'm like, wow. I'm glad I'm not sitting in his office now. You think you have problems? Think about that. You got 90 days to live. 90 days. And I'll go over what we're going to do to try to sell the practice and so forth. And just sit back for a little bit. Think about that. 90 days. And I'm sitting in traffic. I'm thinking to myself, oh, what a drag. But yeah, I'd rather have 90 days. I'd rather have a lot more than 90 days. I'll sit in traffic for a long time for that. So, and cancer, once again, when you're dealing with pancreatic, I've had a couple doctors with this, it sneaks up on you. It's like a secret cancer. It's not until it invades these surrounding organs that you're really going to know that you have a problem. To prevent it, you've got to do multiple diagnostic tests periodically and get yourself checked out. I've recommended that on one of my other videos. Get your head from head to toe. If you're over the age of 60 or 50, get checked from head to toe. Every blood test, every x-ray, get it all done. It doesn't mean you have to jump and get treatment immediately on whatever you see. Some of the stuff you can sit and wait. Obviously not pancreatic cancer. But it was very sad. He said it just snuck up on him and they gave me 90 days. You got to sell it. So, to you doctors, and I know I've done these tapes before, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear about your own mortality. You don't want to hear that something could happen, that it may be later than you think. But when you deal with this twice a month for 16 years, which I'm dealing with all around the country, disability, premature passing, talking 24 times a year, every 2 weeks, 25 times a year, every 2 weeks, I'm getting the call. So this is one of them. This is real life. We've got to figure out how fast to move this thing. Every deal is different. And I'll do the best I can to get it sold. But just a message to you doctors out there that are, over 60. If, you can't say, well, my parents lived a long time, I'll live a long time. You can't tell me that you won't get an accident, you're free from that. You can't tell me that the significant other or spouse won't get sick and it kills all your travel plans and your whole life has changed. You just can't. Nobody can predict the future. You can predict the future. Let's go to Vegas. I'll pay for the tickets. You can't predict the future. You don't know what's going to happen. If you're healthy and everything else physically is okay with you, then what happens if you can fall and get in an accident? It's just terrible. What are we going to do? The key thing is, what are we going to do now? I got to advertise this thing immediately. We have my own marketing director in-house. We're not a mom and pop shop. Sorry, spam. We're not a mom and pop shop. So I'll get my team working on this. Immediately I'll send out to doctor a contract, all the documents I need. Tax returns, profit and loss, procedure code analysis. Don't tell the staff. W-2s, lease, I need everything. And his lease is a little high too. He's been there so many years. That's going to be difficult to deal with. Not going to be easy. But fortunately, there's not that much time left on the lease, so we can negotiate a little bit. Hopefully the landlord will negotiate with us. What are we going to do? Probably on the situation here, and every situation is different, we're looking at 50% or more immediate price reduction. Immediate. Don't even, that gets people's attention when you do a price reduction like that. We're talking immediate price reduction right away, no hesitation. We're talking, so go to 48%, 46%. You've got to move this thing. This has to move and move fast. No hesitation. You just got to unload this. It takes 4 to 8 months to sell the average dental practice. This practice has some, lower socioeconomic plans. It's not the easiest, but grossing over $1 million, it's going to help us a lot. So it's a kind of practice that, being that the numbers are high, we may do a roll-up, that is take the patient records, do a record sale. You're only going to get 25, 30 cents on that, especially since he really can't work or she really can't work. But we may have to roll it up into another one immediately and go from there. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. That's going to be a quicker sale. Now, the average practice, and I'll have to send the bulletin out to my 2,114 active buyers. I got that many active buyers for the last 16 years. They get our newsletter with all the updated practices in it. I'm going to do an emergency newsletter. I have to get it out. This is a very sad situation. And a really sweet woman, sweet guy, sweet woman, whatever. You work all your life, and you got 90 days. It's like 90 days. What are you going to do? You don't even have time. I had another one like this in Maryland. A tough case. He said to me, I can afford anything. I don't think he ever had a family. He worked 6 days a week all his life. He says, I can afford anything. Cash. I can buy a Rolls Royce cash. I said, what am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with the Rolls Royce? I got to sell it right away. My heirs are going to be stuck with it. It's going to drop in price. I'm better off just giving them the money. It's a whole different situation. When you know you're on the way out, believe me, you have no idea. All of a sudden, the first thing you said is, why don't I retire earlier? That's what I tell these doctors. When should you retire? When you have some level of financial security. I don't think you have to have the whole thing. Of course, you got to listen to your advisors and so forth. But some level of financial security. Get out. Don't even think about it. Because stuff like this, 90 days. So we're going to put this on a rapid sale. We're going to reduce the price, 48% of gross, somewhere around there. I'll be, I carry the phone 24/7, so anybody calls, we're going to jump on this right away. We're going to get doctors set up with a great dental bank. And now, unfortunately, I don't even want to talk about this, but we now got to deal with the fact that practice has to be maybe passed on to his heirs. If we don't sell it in time, we got to have a whole game plan for that. So we're going to call the people we know that are movers and shakers that will buy the practice. But this is like rapid immediately. The average practice, if you have a buyer tomorrow, this is tomorrow, it's going to take you 45 days to sell it. That's if you have a letter of intent agreed upon. It's going to take you 45 days to go to closing. We have 90 days and we don't even have a buyer yet. This is tough, but I'm on this. This is why we're different. We're all over this. She called on Sunday. I pick up them on the beach hanging out. I pick up the phone. I said, we're on it. We'll check it out this week. We'll get it done. I didn't know what was going on at the time, but that's why we're different. We just jump on it. There's no waiting around. It's not like I'm going on vacation. I'll call you when I get back. No, this is immediate. Move on it like lightning. That's how fast you have to move on this. Lightning. It's lightning. And that's the speed we're going to try to sell it. So those are the things you can do. Rapid reduction. Get the doctor and attorney right away. Start making calls immediately. Send out an emergency bulletin. We're on Monday. I'm going to Tuesday. Maybe on Thursday I'll get the bulletin out. We'll go on the internet for immediate listing. We've got this thing has to just move with rapid, non-stop speed. This is non-stop immediately. This will become a top priority, and practice grosses over $1 million, so we'll help them out. haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet until I know all my buyers. That's why you should really get my list that comes out every month. So you're alerted to these things. Now, they're going to be alerted immediately. We have a crisis emergency situation. Must sell, emergency. I mean, just think. It's like June. Almost the end. It's almost 4th of July. So you got July, August, September. At the end of September, by October 1st, this guy's going to be gone. So think about it. Just think about that, because it could happen to you. Go to hit the subscribe button, and we'll be there for you, and we'll send you out everything that's new. Stay posted. Thank you, team. Bye.